Mindfulness is not thinking about the past, how it's going to affect what's happening now, not thinking about the future, what you're doing now, how it's going to have a consequence or what might happen. It's thinking about the present moment and really being aware of the environment and what's happening right now. And that's a very, very important skill to practice, right? We all need to practice that. But presence is a step further.
Welcome to Good Vibes TV. I'm your host, Leslie Klein, here to help you raise your vibrations so you can thrive. My guest today is Marla Press. She is the founder of Speakers on Fire Academy. She's a public speaking coach, a life coach, and an art of presence trainer. Her mission is to help you speak so people listen. Coming to us from Colorado, please welcome Marla Press.
So great to be here. There are no coincidences, right?
First, let me ask you this. What inspired you to become a public speaking coach?
Yeah, so it was a couple of things. And for all the listeners out there, you can probably relate to this. My life was a little zigzaggy, right? It wasn't a direct pathway to this. But it started out, I just loved being on stage. I was in musical theater. I love dancing. And so I was constantly performing on stages. And even though I am an introvert, I loved performing. And I was in a dance company too. So I was on stage dancing, let alone in musical theater. And I wrote speeches and I love giving speeches. So I did all of that the whole time growing up, and then a little bit into my college years, but then I got a degree in psychology, so kind of let go of some of that performance and just really was helping people with a lot of issues, a lot of them serious issues. Then I became a life coach, and what I discovered was there's a lot of people that want to promote their businesses now, especially in the past 5 years. Almost everybody's coming out and not wanting to work for other people anymore and wanting to be a coach or consultant. And they need to promote themselves, but they're not good at it. And like you said, there's a lot of fear involved. And, public speaking is still the number one fear for decades. It hasn't changed. People feel like they're going to die if they have to speak. And then there's also just the little bit of anxiety that it can produce. So not everybody has a phobia about it, but almost everybody has a little anxiety or a little fear when it comes to putting yourself out there. And I've worked with teachers and people that have been speaking to educate, but that's not the same as promoting yourself, telling your own message. That's really different. And so I really love helping people speak up and speak so people listen so that you can promote your business, whatever your business is. But I love working with people who are making a difference in the world and really helping others.
That's awesome. So why would you say that speaking is so important in a person's personal growth and development?
Oh, in your personal growth, I mean, it's so helpful for your business, but in your personal growth too. And that's what I focus a lot on is, we've all had these messages. You talked a little bit about this, but even, besides in communities now where, where people may have been killed or certainly shut down, we've all had messages growing up of, don't talk so loud, be quiet, you're too much. Or your message doesn't matter, or you're not good enough, or you don't look good enough. All those messages that we get, and they come into our heads when we're stuck in our head as a speaker. And so what I help people do is get out of your head, out of this head energy, and into your full body energy, which is partly from my art of presence training. And so I now train others in the art of presence. And being present is more joyful. It's more authentic. It helps with all your communication, whether it's your kids, your spouse, your partners of any kind, let alone your business. It just helps you communicate from a different place and be really authentic and be a great listener and really show the essence of who you are and not just all this clutter that's up in your head.
What is the art of presence? Meaning being present in the moment and just being here now kind of thing?
Yeah, it's funny because words like authentic and presence and mindfulness, they're kind of almost overused, and a lot of people don't really understand what they are. So here's how I explain it. Mindfulness is not thinking about the past, how it's going to affect what's happening now, not thinking about the future, what you're doing now, how it's going to have a consequence or what might happen. It's thinking about the present moment and really being aware of the environment and what's happening right now. And that's a very, very important skill to practice, right? We all need to practice that. But presence is a step further. Presence is getting out of this head energy altogether, not just being in thinking mode, but being in your full body energy. And we're just not used to that. We're in an information age. We're bombarded with information. We have so much clutter up there that we've lost touch with being in our bodies. And that makes a huge difference in your communication and how you feel. And to give you an example of someone who has presence, right? So someone walks into a room or a meeting or even a Zoom room and, maybe nobody notices them and nobody remembers that they were there. And another person can walk into any room and the energy shifts and people perk up, they pay attention because that person has this presence, this magnetism that draws you in, that makes you curious, that makes your energy shift. So that person has presence. And that is more than just having that mindfulness. It's really this full body energy.
And that's perfect. That perfectly leads to my next question, because you talk about how your mission is to help people speak so people listen. So you're just starting to talk about our vibration and our energy, which is what my show is all about. So how does a person's vibration and energy affect their speaking? You've touched on it, I think, a little bit in the presence, and you gave this example. But talk more about that. How do you work with people's energy so they can be that magnet in the room?
Yes, great question, because it's not really something we can just intellectualize about, right? Like you can't say, okay, I'm going to have more presence now, or okay, I'm going to be more authentic now. I take people through exercises. So the art of presence it's this huge program I didn't develop. It's been taught all over the world, and it's 45 different practices to give you the experience of being in your body, of shifting your energy. And it's not just being in your body. There's this internal energy, and then there's external energy. So internal, we touched on a little bit about having presence, being in your body, but the external energy that you also can master and can be aware of or not. So some people have shrinking energy, and especially when they go to talk, but even we mostly live in a certain energy, even though it can vary a little bit depending on the situation. So some people are shrinkers. They pull back. They almost, have body language that shows that, and their voice might be more meek, not necessarily just quiet, because you can be mesmerizing and have a quiet voice. But it's this shrunken energy. And then other people are projectors, and they're just, some of them are entertainers and they have charisma and they're interesting, but they're almost throwing themselves at you and they're projecting their energy. And it can be exhausting for that person, and also for anyone that's trying to communicate with them, or if you have an audience, it's exhausting for them. And it doesn't build trust because you're throwing yourself at them. You're not inviting this two-way communication. Then there's people that diffuse their energy, their external energy, and they just don't really take a stand. You're not sure what they think or how they feel. They're just sort of all over the place and diffused. So healthy external energy is to have your energy expanded around you. And that's above you, below you, right and left, is behind you. You have that energy, you affect it. And it's contained energy. So it's not projected, but it's expanded and contained. So the art of presence works on both this internal energy and the external energy. And to take the internal energy a little step further too. So a lot of speaking coaches will say, speak from the heart, not from the head, and you're going to connect to your audience. And this is true. But I take that a step further and say, speak from your heart and your gut. And gut's kind of not a pretty word, so I call it your home space. That's where you're truly home and authentic. And when you communicate from your heart and this home space, you're very authentic and you really connect to people in a bigger way.
And that's interesting. We talk about the gut because a lot of the new research talks about, there's a brain in our gut, and how there's, our gut and our brain, connects with our brain. So that's just very interesting that you're talking about that.
Yes, there's a lot of science around this now. And your gut has more serotonin than your brain does. And that's the feel-good hormone, right? It's where we connect to each other. And there's a lot of science behind this. And the other thing about your gut is intuition. And it's almost this collective consciousness where when we connect to this home space, it's not only where we're home, but it's this collective feeling. And it's such a great way to communicate with others in a more collective, connecting, and authentic way.
I love that. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll find out how to wow every room so that we magnetically attract more clients and wealth.
Magnetic Marla Press.
Wow. Wow. Those are the wows you need to get when you speak. You need to grab attention. You need to stand out from the crowd. You need to engage your audience and you need to connect with your audience. So you motivate, inspire, and build trust. When you speak, are you wowing the room so you get the results that you want? It's not enough to be a good speaker. You have to get those results that you want. So let's set up a complimentary session, a hot or not speaker assessment, where we will make your message sizzling hot so you magnetically attract more clients and wealth.
Welcome back to Good Vibes TV. We've been talking with public speaking coach Marla Press. So in the art of presence, you said there are 44 different techniques, right? And do you have I have a volunteer, and I think we were gonna, you're gonna, maybe, is it one of these techniques that you were gonna go through with my volunteer?
Sure, we can do that.
Okay. Well, let me introduce you to Bridget Riggs. And let's see if I get this right. There she is.
Hey, Bridget.
Hi.
She's my sister. And she also
oh my
has
gosh, welcome.
Finding Coherence. So she is my little guinea pig for you to practice this technique. Now, is this technique something that we all could kind of do as we're watching? Or is it something that she will only be doing?
So what this is, and I have some quicker things, but this is just such a beautiful technique that I would love to share this with all the listeners. So this is something that everyone can do together. But what I'm going to have you do, Bridget, is so that everybody can see what a difference this makes. Everyone can feel it themselves, but what you're going to demonstrate for everyone is what a difference this makes in your communication. So what I'm going to have you do is tell everybody in 30 to 45 seconds or so what you do and what you offer, because you have a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so some people will call it your elevator your pitch or your marketing message. So do that, and then we'll take everybody through the visualization, and then you'll speak again.
Okay. So my name is Bridget Riggs. I am the founder of Finding Coherence Academy, and I created this academy after healing my body from Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disease. And being a scientist myself, I experimented using ancient wisdom, quantum physics, and energy work to not only heal, but harmonize my mental, emotional, and physical bodies. And now I want to help other women, empower them that they can do the same. And I no longer are taking any medications. I did this with no lotion, potion, pills, or needles. So it can be done. I did it myself, and now I would like to help other women heal.
Woohoo! Everybody, hear the clapping in the universe. Everybody's clapping for you. So, first of all, that was beautiful and amazing, and you have so much to offer. But I want everyone to just think about and feel into: did you feel connected to Bridget when she was speaking? Did you pay attention, or did your mind wander a little bit? How much did you really get what she has to offer? So. And then we're going to all go through the exercise and we'll revisit that. So go ahead and close your eyes. And everyone listening, if you're not driving, close your eyes and just give yourself permission. Allow yourself to relax and just follow my voice, even though it's something maybe you're not used to doing. And just allow yourself to sink into your chair a little bit more. And take a deep breath there. Allow your shoulders to relax, your face to relax. And now put your feet about shoulder width apart and notice what your feet are doing. Are they touching carpet? Are they touching hardwood floor? Are you sitting and they're on a stool? We're so up in our head, we have no idea what our feet are doing most of the time, but this grounds us. And imagine that you have roots that come up from Mother Earth. They're about 15 feet deep into Mother Earth, and they come up into your feet. And some people will imagine plant roots. Other people just sense energy. Other people are visual and are going to feel or see color or sparkles. Whatever it is perfect for you. And keep allowing that energy to come up from Mother Earth into your feet. And now allow it to come up into your ankles and your lower legs, and come up through your knees, and come up into your upper legs. And allow that energy to come up into your home space. And that's a couple inches below your navel and a little to the back of your body. And just bring all of your attention there into your home space. Some people feel a light there. Some people just picture energy moving back and forth. And allow that energy to move, almost like you have a bowl filled with honey and it's just rocking back and forth and back and forth. And it's just filling up your home space with delightful, delicious energy. Your home space, sometimes I call it womb space for women. It's where you birth all your ideas. It's where your resourcefulness is. It's this wonderful place where you collect to the whole universe and everyone in it. And just allow that energy to move a little bit more within this place. And feel the freedom of that, the joy of that. Yes. And now allow that energy to connect to and come up into your heart space. And your heart space is your place of self-acceptance and acceptance of others, and your place of love for yourself and love for others. And allow that space to open as if you have windows on your heart, and you can open it just a little bit more and open more. And feel the energy move around your heart space, just all filling up the area in your chest. And now allow that energy to move back and forth between your home space and your heart space. Really feel that connection. And if it feels like it's hard to stay in there for some of you, imagine you have an elevator and it goes down and down and down and down through your heart and into your home space. And take just another moment to allow that energy to move within you. Move back and forth and back and forth. And feel the joy of this, the acceptance, the love for others. And in just a moment, you're going to open your eyes, but you're going to keep your energy in this place and speak from this place and support Bridget from this place. So when you're ready, Bridget, open your eyes. And from this place, tell us your passion, what you offer to people, what you want people to know about what you offer.
So the creation of Finding Coherence Academy can help you empower women, menopausal women that have been diagnosed with a disease, to realize that they don't have to be in a disease state. I've been able to clear it out of my system completely, and I can teach you how to do the same. And that way you can find your true self, undiseased, healthy, happy, truly in joyful bliss. So that way we can all help each other and heal the world.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. What a difference. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to give you some feedback in just a moment, but how was that for you?
Heart-centered, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So what usually happens when we communicate from this place versus up in our head is it's less about us, right? You don't start with, here's who I am, here's what I did, here's what I can contribute. It's more about, this is the creation for you. This is about you. This is how I help you. This is what's going to change in your life. It's more emotional content. It's calmer. It's more clear and concise. There's not as much talking and jargon that happens, right? There's such a big difference. So I invite everyone who's listening and watching the replay or watching, if whatever you're watching this, to just notice, did you feel a difference in your connection to Bridget and in how you could hear her? And I'd love to hear comments. It'd be great for Bridget to hear comments about the difference that made for you, because this is what it's all about. It's speaking so people listen. It's not just talking. That doesn't do it. We have to speak so people hear us, so they really get what we're about, so they feel it, so they want to take action, so they're inspired. And this is, normally I go into a lot more depth when with my clients about this, because I mean, you did amazing, Bridget. You really got in there, and there was a huge difference. But we can go even deeper with this, and it makes such a difference in how people respond to you. And of course, it's going to get you more clients and more business too. But you're going to impact so many more people. Thank you so much for participating. You had no idea what you were in for. And so I love that you were just a willing volunteer. Thank you so much for sharing what you do. And I know you're going to help a lot of people.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. Appreciate it. All right. So Marla, that was really amazing. And you did that in just a few minutes. I can imagine, if someone goes through your program, how much that they can grow and learn and really develop that magnetism and charisma in their speaking. So I know you also are an author, and you have a series of books called the Emotional Roller Coaster Books. Tell us about that.
Yes. So I wrote these years ago, but again, my background is in psychology. And so I wrote this series that, it's so true. Everything has ups and downs, right? Our emotions have ups and downs. Life has ups and downs. And so I wanted to pick some topics that I cared a lot about and talk about the emotional ups and downs of them, and then what to do about it. So my books are short books. They're almost like a workbook. There's lots of activities in them so that you can really transform. Because I feel, people read books and nothing happens, right? It's like, oh, this is great information, but I'm all about transformation, whether it's for my clients now with public speaking or books that I write. Is all about transformation. So the first book was about when your kids leave home. That's a biggie for anyone who's a parent. And for me, I wrote it right after my first child left home. It was, it's traumatic, and it's just hard to deal with. It may not be that traumatic. It depends. But for a lot of people, it really upsets their life for a while. And so these are ways of coping with it that can be so helpful, and just understanding why it seems to, for a lot of people, maybe especially women, but people in general, it changes their identity. They're, especially if it's their last kid and then they're an empty nester, what that changes as far as how you are in the world and your identity and your purpose. A lot of people start businesses after that, right? Or they start new things. So that's really important. And the second book was about losing weight, because that's such a big issue for so many people. And as a speaker, a lot of speakers don't want to put themselves out there on camera because they're worried about how they look. But beauty truly is skin deep, and it's how you feel inside. And diets don't work. So news release, diets don't work. It's all about this mindset and behavior, and really understanding all the emotional attachments to eating and what that means. So we talk about all of that in the book. And then there's exercises so you can overcome all of it. And there's NLP exercises, all kinds of exercises. And the last one is about your relationship with money, because that's another huge one, right? People's relationship with money. And as a business owner or a speaker, you have to really come to terms with your relationship with money, or you might make money and then lose it, or you might have so much emotional attachment that you don't make money. So it's really important to explore, which is what I'm all about. It's exploring. It's not making everybody a certain way or trying to say everyone's the same, but exploring your own feelings around these issues. My next book that's going to be coming out soon is about the ups and downs of being a speaker and putting yourself out there as a speaker. So that one's in the works, and I can't wait to share that one.
Awesome. That's great. Now, I love to ask my guests what they do to raise their vibration. So can you share some of the techniques and things you do to raise your vibration?
Yes. So doing exercises, the visualizations, like one of them that I shared with you, I do a meditation, and I'm not one who can meditate for hours. I have a 10-minute meditation I do, and it's a moving meditation, and it's so helpful. I also teach that. So helpful. And then another favorite thing I love to do is dance. And I so believe that music alone and dancing to music absolutely raises our vibration. It gives us so much joy. And again, it's being in your body, right? And it's using your body in such a way that it just brings up all this wonderful energy. It's so helpful. I just love, love, love dancing. And you can dance in your living room or kitchen. It doesn't have to be go out and dance in the public, but I love to do both.
That's awesome. Now, I understand, Marla, that you have a free gift for our audience. Can you tell us about that, please?
Yeah, so what I want to offer everyone is a hot or not speaker assessment. And what this is you can bring any part of your marketing message, your stories. Stories are so important. Your talk of any kind, or if you don't have one, we'll develop one. So in 60 minutes, you will come away with a message that's going to immediately get you more clients or get you more speaking gigs. If you want to be just a motivational speaker, it'll get you more speaking gigs. And if you're a speaker, it's essential to have a talk that attracts people to you magnetically.
So I think the link tree, is that the best way to get that, to sign up for the complimentary hot or not speaker evaluation?
Yeah, I put that in there because that gives you even more information, my website, my social media, anything, if you want to explore that first before we get together. But the link to set up a call with me directly, if you want to go directly to that, is just speakwithmarla.com. If you want to email me, it's real easy. It's m.press@marlapress.com.
Okay, Marla, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all your tips on how to speak better and magnetize our energy so that we can wow our audience. I think I need to do some classes with you so that I can improve.
You're amazing. I love what you do. It's, energy is now a mainstream thing. It didn't used to be, right? But now there's science behind it now, and people realize the importance of it. So I love what you do, and I would love to, give you more of a taste of what I do, and that's why I offer this free hot or not speaker eval, and you can bring anything you want to that.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you received some value from this episode, please like, share, and subscribe so everyone can learn how to raise their vibration and thrive. Peace out, everyone.